What is up, bros? I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we're a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, I am the only one that has something to talk about when it comes to weekly watches. And you know what? It was like a last minute watch today, like out of pure nostalgia because of a YouTube video that I watched. So yeah, and then after that, we'll jump right into our headliner of the evening, which was going to be Kraven the Hunter, but things happen, life happens, and so instead we'll be doing Red One.
Hell yeah!
So yeah, what do you say we get started?
I say let's do it.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
All right, so jumping right into weekly watches. Like I said, I only have one, and it was out of pure nostalgia. And yeah, now when it comes to going back to these kinds of shows or movies, it's especially for mine and Caleb's generation, it's hard now after watching Quiet on Set, and seeing what these kids went through. It's absolutely horrible what they went through, especially, Drake Bell. And so watching anything Drake and Josh nowadays is kind of hard. I still love this show. I love this special. But just, yeah, there is a part of you that it sometimes is a little struggle to get through this kind of stuff now.
Oh man, dude. Straight up. Like even the new shit. Like it's hard to watch the new shit too. Like we were talking about this a little bit before we hit record, but yeah, like even watching like the new iCarly, like after that documentary came out, like it's rough.
Because they didn't touch upon it in the show, and according to them, their set wasn't like that. But have you seen everything coming out about the Ned's Declassified cast, or at least the main three? Have you seen?
Aren't they in a throuple right now?
I don't know about. They might be. I don't know, but freaking after Quiet on Set came out, they did a live stream or something, and they basically poked fun about how their set was nothing like these other shows. They never felt in danger, nothing like that. Kind of poking fun a little bit at Drake Bell, these other kids that went through absolute hell. And then freaking, oh my God, the girl that played Mose.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting her name. But freaking, she admitted that literally she worked her way up to doing stuff with the other cast members once, and she didn't start with Devin or Ned. She worked her way up to him, and I'm just I don't want to think of this shit when you guys were one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. Come on. I get it, we're adults here.
Their show is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
I tried really hard to watch their show, or not to watch, to listen to it. And it got to the point, dude, I'm like, it's almost ruining my childhood.
I don't want to think about Mo sleeping around with Coconut Head, Martin Quirley, Backpack Guy, Timmy Toot Toot. Yeah, I don't want to think about that shit.
Yeah. And she's so freaking blatant about it. And then I genuinely do not know if this was like a joke or not. But yeah, she went and like told family members that she was in a throuple with Devin and what's his face, the guy who plays Cookie.
Shit, I forgot his name.
Yeah, I think it's like Simon something. Maybe
I
I
thought that
might
was
be
his
wrong.
name in the show, Simon Nelson Cook.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
Let's see, Daniel Curtis Lee.
that's what it is. What's
Yeah.
Moses' name?
Uh,
To pull up by chance with this?
Lindsay Shaw.
Okay, so yeah, Lindsay, Daniel, and oh my God, Devin. Almost forgot Ned's name.
Yeah, but dude, it's rough. It's rough hearing about that shit because I'm just like, ugh, gross. And
Uh,
yeah, and even now, dude, they freaking like. I haven't seen any of their shit for a while.
I
So I'm
haven't
wait.
either. Like honestly, like after like that came out and about them, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to listen to your guys' show anymore or watch your TikTok shit like that. Like, I think I'm good right now.
I'd be interested to see if they're still doing that.
I don't know. They're still pushing for a freaking reboot of Ned's Declassified. They really want that to happen. And after the failure of Zoe 102, because I don't think like it barely brought in like any streaming numbers, I don't see Paramount taking a chance on that, considering that Ned's Declassified wasn't one of the Nickelodeon's like top shows when we were growing up. Like it was usually like of course iCarly was up there, Drake and Josh. But like Ned's Declassified and I would say Zoe 101 were kind of like definitely like viewed less compared to those other two.
Yeah. I'm just looking right now to see. Yeah, it looks like they haven't posted anything since October.
Oh shit. Okay, wow. All right. Damn.
Yeah, but dude, it was like all of their episodes in 2024, they call it the adult guide to
Oh my.
let's see, nostalgia and making amends, fan dreams, guide to dating, overcoming jealousy, discovering your passions, whatever the hell that means, and the guide to body image. Like, listen, all important things, not the way that they do it. They leave you just being like, ugh.
I feel gross now.
Yeah, like I think it'd be different if they weren't trying to like tie in the show.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, if it's just like you say, like it's for like the first episode of their podcast, they just say, "Hey, you might remember us from Ned's Declassified. We were Ned, Mose, and Cookie. Maybe just talk about what they remember from that show for like a little bit for the first episode, but then that's it. Move on from there, and the rest of your show is just talking about what basically what you want to talk about with these kind of life advice, but don't keep bringing back Ned's Declassified into the mix."
Yeah, I think for like the podcast started off as like a watch along. So it was like,
Oh, okay.
so they were going episode by episode for a
So kind of like
while.
what like kind of like the Office ladies.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, it was like episode by episode. And then they got to, it was like every episode that they were talking about, though, they were talking about like the shit that was going on behind scenes with them. They're just like, oh, yeah, don't you remember? That's when I freaking blew you behind this thing. And I was like, dude, I don't need to know that.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Like, listen, did I assume? Yes. Did I need that confirmation? No.
Exactly.
Like, oh, like I could live my whole life without knowing that.
Oh my.
But yeah, dude, it was crazy. And what's crazier is they got like the other cast members to come in and like discuss shit. And I'm like, dude,
Wow.
could like, ew. But
Yeah,
anyway,
we could have kept that locked away in the Nickelodeon vault. Just saying.
Yeah, it's like, keep that to yourselves, you freaking animals.
But anyway, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. So I love this movie. This is a great special, in my opinion. And to me, I feel that this is the true finale for Drake and Josh. I know, like, it actually did have that finale, or like the show ended with them, I think, like fighting over shrimp, and then it like cut to like flashback to when they fought over shrimp on the Amanda show. Like that, that's a cool flashback. I think that is cool. But I don't know, this one, even though like it literally ends with Josh throwing a snowball at Drake, and Drake being like, "I'm gonna get you, Parker," or "I'm gonna get you, Nichols." Sorry, Parker is Drake's last name. I don't know. That felt more closing. It felt like more closure than the actual ending of the show. So yeah, love the ending of this, and just it's so great to see these characters again. Someone pointed out that when this movie came out, iCarly was already well into production, and so Miranda Cosgrove and Jerry Trainer were already playing Carly and Spencer, and like kudos to them for coming back to play these like vastly different characters compared to those that they were playing on iCarly, and like honestly, they didn't miss a beat. Felt just like just the same as they did on the show. And just you get a lot of recurring characters. You get that funny gag with Mrs. Hayford, where Drake hits a puddle and just drenches her as they're driving down the street. What else do you get? Freaking when they go to Gavin's house and pick up his moped or scooter or whatever. So like you get some like nice nods to the original show. The characters still feel the same, and just I love spending Christmas with Drake and Josh. Like it's great. The story is really good. It's insane, like freaking how the resource officer or whoever is in charge of them basically says, "Oh, hey, if you don't give this family, especially this little girl, the best Christmas ever, y'all are going to jail for a long time." It's like, "Oh, okay, all right, sure, let's," because you can't break a Christmas promise. Did you know that, Caleb?
Yes, I have. I've heard that many a times.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Um, and so yeah, just I love watching craziness ensue, like you always expect with Drake and Josh. It's great. These guys don't miss a beat. Their chemistry has been amazing since day one, and even years later after the show wrapped and they did this movie, the chemistry's still there. I love these two guys together. I know in like real life, they've had some like hiccups, but I think things are a little better now. I hope so. Because it's kind of hard to picture a world that Drake and Josh aren't friends, or at least like they still like each other in real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, dude, I can't keep track of what the hell's going on with that. Like, I know that Drake got in trouble for some sketchy shit. Josh just kind of like distanced himself from
Yeah.
that whole situation. So is Drake back on the up and up, or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think Drake's back on the up and up. So like, I'm sure that they're not, vocal about their relationship, which totally get. But I do hope that like they still check in with each other every once in a while, something like that. If they did go their separate ways, completely get it. But my childhood heart would like to think that they still do care about each other, and they do check in with each other frequently. So that's my childhood dream. Um, but yeah, just great special. Have a great time every single time I watch it. I haven't watched it in a couple of years now, so I was glad that I was able to rewatch it this year. Yeah. So if you haven't watched, I mean, if you loved Drake and Josh as a kid and you haven't watched Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, do yourself a favor. It feels just exactly like the show, and it's a fun time from start to finish. So stream it is what I would give Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. It's a good time. It's a very, very good time.
hell yeah,
Hmm.
dude? I don't know if I've seen this movie, but Josh's hair is atrocious.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a part where he's taking his mugshot photo, and so many people have said it looks like a wig. Like the way that it's like
Dude, I was
poking
just
out.
gonna ask.
I don't think it is. I think that is like, especially in this and throughout the show, I think it's Josh's real hair. Like he just decided to grow it out.
What year did this come out?
That freaking, I don't know actually. I think like 2010.
Oh, 2008.
Oh, 2008, my bad.
Oh, is that too far past the line? No, 2008. That was like peak Bieber, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, like that. I think that was just the hairstyle back then.
Oh.
Dude, I'm so glad that my parents have always like given me like just a crisp, clean looking haircut and never let me do this shit with my hair.
Dude, I don't think we were hanging out that much, but like I don't know, maybe we were. Do you remember it all when I used to have my hair like kind of pretty long, and freaking I would like swoop it over to the right, and I'd have to like freaking
Yours
like
was
curl it.
okay. Listen, I do remember your hair being like that, but
Okay.
it was long, but you styled it so it didn't look like this.
Okay.
Like
Because I didn't start spiking it up until we were in high school.
yeah. And I mean, I've always had like the like super high fade.
That's
Like
true. Yeah, Caleb always has. Caleb used to kind of do like a buzz cut a little bit.
a little well, that was when my mom cut my hair.
All right, so
But
understandable.
and listen, she did her best, but she does not know how to cut hair. No, but yeah, like it's always kind of been that vibe, but it's just the way that my hair grows out. Like she can cut it all the same length, and then this little patch grows a little bit longer, so it looks like I can do like the spiky front and everything.
So, do you have a widow's peak?
No,
No.
I just have a really
Which is,
far,
huh? Okay.
like my hairline's a little like far back, but
All right.
it's not super bad. Like it hasn't gotten worse. Like it's kind it's I was afraid it was just going to keep going further and further because if it got too bad, I'm buzzing my head. Like I'm shaving it all off. But luckily for me, it hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Okay, that's good.
Dude, my younger brother Coy though, he needs to shave his head something awful. We keep trying to convince him to, but he is holding on for dear life.
Dude, he's got the beard. He can pull it off. Like
I
as long,
know. That's what
yeah.
we've all told him. He's just like, no, dude, it looks weird. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it would. Yeah, it would not, Coy. You could pull it off quite well.
Yeah. But yeah, I told myself really early on, like if my hair starts to go, like if it gets to a point where anyone feels like I'm holding on to something that's not there anymore, I'm buzzing it all. Like it is all going, and I will live with a shaved head the rest of my life.
As much as I do not like my father. I just getting that out there right now. At least with his genes, he still has a full head of hair in his 60s, and my grandpa has a full head of hair in his, I think my grandpa's 86 now. So at least like the hair on his side is decent. So like I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about going balding, at least not for the time being. I hope not.
Well, they say that you get your hair genetics from your mother's father.
Oh, if that's the case, shit. Because I think my mom's birth father started going balding in his like freaking like I think mid 30s, early 40s. So fuck.
Well, we'll see how that period of time plays
Well,
out.
shit. Okay. Well,
I don't know how true that is though. At least it may be true for like the firstborn because I have hair very similar to my mom's dad.
okay.
Like he had like the dark black hair and he had lots of it. It was super thick. Coy and Bronson, they have more like my dad's side, like their haircut where it's like Bronson, his hair, like he still has like all of his hair. It doesn't look like he's balding at all. His hair is just a lot thinner than mine.
Okay.
And then Coy's been going bald for a while now.
Yeah,
Like,
Coy definitely got the short end of the stick.
he
When it
did.
came to that.
He absolutely did. But I don't believe that my hairline has gone back any further than here. Like it's kind of like gone to here and then just stopped. And I'm
Okay,
like,
good.
if it stays there, I will be perfectly happy with that. Because
Fair.
my maternal grandfather, he actually, like, near the end of his life, he was going through like chemo and everything, and he shaved his head preemptively because he's like, I don't want to lose my hair. So he shaved his head, and his hair, even through chemo, was still growing back. Like exactly how.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's freaking nuts.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he kind of had like that silvery vibe, and then he shaved his head and let it grow back in, and he was just pure white.
Okay.
But there was like this magic period of time where he was just silver hair, where it
Hmm.
was like black on top and then just silver streaks throughout. And I'm like, dude,
Freaking
I'm so pumped for that period
freaking
of time in my life.
hold on. Dude, that would be super cool to see you rocking a Reed Richards over here.
Oh,
Like
dude,
that'd be so cool. You could
I
pull
would
it off
lose
too.
it.
Like it would look super good on you, man.
I would lose it. But yeah, I forget why were we talking about hair?
Josh's hair.
Oh, Josh's hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm so glad my mom never let me do anything like that with my hair, because I can look back and my hair is the least embarrassing thing about my pictures growing up.
I find it funny that, I think like maybe Drake's hair was just like a little different in like the first season, because I think that's like when he like maybe like swooped it up a little bit, so like it kind of looked a little spiked. But from like season 2 to freaking Merry Christmas Drake and Josh, Drake literally had the exact same haircut,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and that was fine. He pulled it off. It looked great. But Josh's, I felt, was like different every single freaking season.
It was. It absolutely was. And dude, when he finally freaking cut his hair, like, he looked so good.
Yeah, no, yeah. When he had it short for like the final season or the final 2 seasons, yeah, like that, like yes, that is perfect, Josh. Keep it that way. And he's kept that haircut into his adulthood. That's the exact same haircut he has now.
Yeah. Like he's
But
found what's worked for him, and he's
yeah,
just keeping the ball rolling
yep,
exactly how it should be.
damn right.
Anyway, I'll have to give this movie a rewatch one day.
Yeah, you should, man. It's a good time. Sorry, I forgot I'm leading this episode.
Yep.
But so that's all I got for weekly watch. Caleb, do you want to, unless you want to talk about anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Well, what do you say we jump into our headliner?
Say, let's do it.
All right. All right. So before we jump right into our breakdown of Red One, which I do want to point out really quickly, I was shocked how fast this went to Prime Video. I mean,
Bro.
I had a feeling that they were going to drop it still this holiday season, because it'd be kind of dumb if they held on to it for a year. But like I would have thought they'd do it like the week of Christmas, not like freaking 2 weeks before Christmas.
Ooh. When this movie came to streaming so fast.
It released on November 15th and went to streaming December 12th.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, when you have a budget as big as it was, and it was just not doing that great at the box office, it wasn't, like a laughing stock, but it wasn't doing great. I understand why MGM pushed it to Prime Video, because it's actually I think it brought in like 50 million views or 50 million streams in its like first 20. I don't know if it's like it's in its first week or like its first 24 hours. I don't know, but it set the record for like the most watched original Prime movie. So at least there's that. That is cool.
Dude, fair. I mean, you can't argue with that. Like, if that was the plan all along, like, good on you.
Well, freaking the original plan. So this was originally supposed to just be released to Prime Video. It was never supposed to come to theaters. But Dwayne
Seriously?
Johnson, this is where it gets fun. Dwayne Johnson saw a screening of Oppenheimer in IMAX and said, "No, this is how Red One needs to be experienced."
Bullshit.
Dead freaking serious, dude. This is what Dwayne Johnson thought.
He said this out loud to people?
Yep. This is what Dwayne Johnson thought. And so they had to go back up the ante. I don't know if they like filmed extra scenes or what, but they had to convert the movie into being able to perform on freaking IMAX 40X screens. And so that just added to the budget. And we all know that Dwayne Johnson got paid a shit ton of money for this movie, so that didn't help the budget at all.
What in the actual delusional hell?
So yeah, dude, the budget for this movie was between 200 and 250 million.
Dude.
And the box office was, I mean, it's still playing in theaters, but so far it's only at 175 million. Or 175.5.
Dude.
Yeah.
What world is Dwayne Johnson living in?
I don't know, but
do you think that Red One deserves to be on the same theatrical, just to be shown on the same screen as Oppenheimer?
Yep, that's how Dwayne Johnson feels.
This dude is delusional.
Dude, seriously.
What in the actual hell? Dude, if he would have come to me, even like someone that was like wanting this movie to succeed, like if I had been an investor on this and he had come to me with that, I would have thought he was joking.
No, dude, yeah, that's fair. Like freaking
dude, this
dude, like I honestly kick myself for not seeing Oppenheimer in 4D or IMAX. This movie, I'm totally fine that I watched it at home. Like I'm not kicking myself for missing this in theaters.
In delusion. Oh my gosh, that dude is psycho.
Yep. Yeah.
I couldn't take anything that he said seriously. After hearing that, I'm like, yeah, but you all like for the rest of his life. Like if I was close enough with him, I'd be like, yeah, but you also thought Red One deserved to be on the same screen format as Oppenheimer, so you can go screw yourself.
No, like seriously.
Oh my gosh.
I just blew your mind, didn't I?
Dude, yeah, like right up against this wall. Like what?
Yep.
Yeah, the rest of this episode is me going to be just unable to think of anything else.
Perfect.
Holy shit.
Well, now that I have just left Caleb with his mouth on the floor, do you want to let people know how we break down movies on this podcast?
Sure. Like we are living in the Twilight Zone. But if you're new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm and give us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade. So if you have not seen Red One, please do yourself the favor and do not pay for this. Like, this is on Amazon Prime. Everyone and their mother has Amazon Prime. Just watch it there. You will be fine. You are not missing much. Do not let the Rock lie to you. You know what the Rock is cooking? Disappointment.
You know, I really want to see how much money this has brought in from like just IMAX and 40X screens alone. Like that's all I want to see now. That's all I care about.
I don't even know if the oh man, I wish I could go back and because there's only one IMAX theater in that I like near where I live. I wish I could go back and see what's showing or what was showing on there. If Red One ever made it to that screen, I would be genuinely shocked if it did.
Oh man, I think out here because like I know there's like an IMAX theater at the Megaplex down the road, but I usually just go for XD with Cinemark. I freaking remember that. I think Red One was only playing for a week in XD, if that, because literally the week after, um, the XD showings had to share both Wicked and Gladiator 2. Like it had to be split between those two movies.
Yeah,
So
as it should be.
yeah, those two movies, like I didn't see Gladiator 2 in XD, but you know what? I'll admit that would have been cool to see in XD. And I saw Wicked in XD. That was freaking beautiful. It was amazing in XD. Yeah, don't need to see Red One in XD. I'm good.
This wouldn't even crack the top 10 list of 2024 movies that should be experienced on IMAX.
That's fair. Like I'm sure, dude, freaking. I'm sure I could think of a comedy right now, just like a bare bones comedy, nothing extravagant about it, no special effects, nothing like that, that I would rather see in XD than Red One.
Yeah. Like freaking No Hard Feelings. I would watch that on XD.
There we go.
There are so many other movies that I would have watched rather than I would have watched reruns.
Yeah. Oh, here we
on
go.
XD.
A Real Pain. There we go. I'd watch that in XD. That Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin movie. I'd watch that in XD. Sure. There we go.
Oh my gosh, the absolute delusion of this guy, dude. And this is someone that thought that he couldn't get any more just arrogant with his young rock show.
Or the freaking, let's flash back to the hierarchy of the DC studio.
Oh my
DC
hell.
is about to change. Yeah, that definitely went over well.
Yeah, that aged like freaking milk.
That Superman trailer though, I'm freaking stoked for that.
Oh, dude, I'm so pumped.
That poster was badass. The theme,
dude, that was a work of art.
Yes. Oh, so excited.
Oh, I'm so pumped. I am so pumped. I'm waking up early Thursday to watch it.
Dude, same here. Same here. We believe in you, James Gunn. You got this.
Hell yeah.
But going back to The Rock.
Yeah.
So yeah, Red One.
Yeah. So if you have not seen Red One, this is tough because, I mean, listen, it's a holiday movie. It's the holidays. It fits the tone.
That's, you know, I was thinking about this watching this. It's very hard for me to hate a Christmas movie, I feel.
Isn't it?
Yeah, right? Like, as long as it gets, you know, like the idea of what Christmas is about, you know, gives you some good morals, really, honestly, like, has some, like, cool shit to look at. Like, the North Pole in this movie actually looked pretty damn cool. Like, I really can't hate you. Like, I'm gonna like you at least a little bit.
It's hard to hate Christmas, easy to hate The Rock.
Exactly, which sucks because he's amazing as Maui.
Oh,
but
man.
We'll see.
Dude,
after the live
he is
action
losing. He is losing so many points in my book with the bullshit that comes out of his mouth.
Fair.
I was trying to get Mr. Plunge on this episode because it was like shortly after I'd watched Red One. He said, or he sent this message. He says, "Did you guys watch the money laundering scheme that is Red One?" Oh man, dude, it is rough. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, we are about to spoil the entire movie for you in our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose. So we will be posting that spoiler warning now. And if you listen beyond this point and anything is spoiled for you, you'll live. This goes about as like how you'd expect. Like watch any of the trailers. Like you'll get the gist.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but there was one scene that, you know, it was showcased a lot in the trailers, takes place on the beach, and I'm just thinking I really did not need to see a snowman's ass cheeks.
Dude, for reals though.
Could have gone my whole life without seeing that. But To get into the story, here we go. Mora, Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority, is a clandestine multilateral military organization that oversees and protects a secret peace treaty between mythological creatures and humanity. Callum Drift, commander of Elf Enforcement, Logistics, and Fortification, head of Santa Claus's security detail, requests to retire after one last Christmas run as he has become delusioned with increased naughty behavior in the world, exemplified by the growth of Santa's naughty list. On Christmas Eve, a Black Ops team breaks into the North Pole complex and kidnaps Santa. Callum notifies director Zoe Harlow about the kidnapping, and her team discovers that the North Pole's secret location was compromised by Jack O'Malley, a mercenary black hat hacker who claims to be able to find anything in the world. Zoe apprehends Jack for questioning. A longtime Santa skeptic, Jack did not know the information he hacked was related to Santa and merely sent it to an anonymous buyer. Zoe offers to double Jack's payment if he helps them find Santa, but places a tracker inside him. Callum reluctantly teams up with Jack to find Santa by tracking the broker who arranged the deal between Jack and the kidnapper in Aruba. The broker tells them the kidnapper is the Winter Witch. Is it Grilla?
Yeah, or
Grilla?
something
Okay.
like that.
I
don't know why they didn't use someone like a little bit more well known.
I agree. Hell, you know what? I know like they set up this like brother relationship with Santa Claus and Krampus. Spoiler alert, sorry. But you know what? I would have been fine if it was Krampus that was the villain.
Dead ass, dude.
That would have been a lot better.
That would have been so much better.
Grilla becomes aware of their conversation and sends her snowmen, including their asses, their ass cheeks, to eliminate them. Though Callum and Jack defeat them, the broker is iced in the scuffle. Callum suspects that Grilla might be working with Krampus, Santa's estranged brother. Okay, so I don't know a lot about, like folklore and shit like that. Like literally the only things that I know about Krampus are because of the Krampus movie that came out in 2015. Do you know if in folklore Krampus and Santa Claus are actually brothers, or did they just make that up for this movie?
I think they just made that up.
Okay. Like it worked. Like I was fine with it, but I didn't know if you knew if it's true or not. Okay, but good to know that. Yeah, they just made it up.
So like all I've seen is he's just the antithesis of Santa Claus. Like that's the only relation.
Okay.
Where Santa basically rewards the good kids, Krampus punishes the bad. That's the only real relation.
I love the movie Krampus, but I hate it for the reason that every other iteration of Krampus I hate, because that was like my first, as an adult, introduction to Krampus and how he looks. And I think he looks so badass in that movie that like every other iteration, even though this one, how he looks in this movie is how he looks compared to like the folklore, just kind of looks like shit to me. Like, I'm sorry, I picture Krampus dressing as Santa Claus, but he's still, like a goat-like creature. But like he has, like the classic red and white suit, or like in Krampus, it's like a freaking cloak. Like freaking that's what Krampus should look like to me, not how freaking Krampus looks in this movie.
Dude,
that's just me being nitpicky.
I'm looking at pictures of like the lore accurate Krampus.
Yeah.
You know who he looks like?
Who?
And the only reason I'm thinking about this is probably because Iris is watching the show on Netflix right now. He looks like the devil on Cuphead.
I've never seen Cuphead. Let me look this up. I'm curious now. Cuphead devil. Holy shit, he does.
Right?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, no shit, he really does.
Yeah, like the devil in Cuphead is just lore accurate Krampus.
that is hilarious. Oh man. All right, well,
yeah, dude, I am fully on team Krampus. Like I still very much want to teach my kids about Krampus.
Dude, like Do you want me to send you the bell so you can keep it around for Iris and Levi just in
Ooh,
case?
maybe. Let me explain Krampus to Iris first, just to see how
Okay.
she handles it,
Okay.
and then we'll play it by ear.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh man. All right. So, Callum suspects that Grilla might be working with Krampus, Santa's estranged brother, who is also Grilla's ex-lover and the one who created the naughty list. Callum and Jack break into Krampus's lair but are captured. Callum appeals to Krampus to help his brother, who misses him, but Krampus refuses. He reveals that Grilla came to him to recover the. I'm gonna f this up. The Glossifig, a magical imprisoning snow globe. Despite being allowed to leave, Jack stays and persuades Krampus to play Krampusschlagen with Callum, during which Jack recovers Callum's magic gauntlet and returns it to him, allowing the pair to escape. Grilla and her sons keep Santa in a vault that siphons his magic, knocking him unconscious. Grilla duplicates the Grossefig and intends to rid the world of every naughty child who has ever been on the naughty list by imprisoning them forever. She tests the snow globes on Jack and his estranged son Dylan. She sends each of them a snow globe that imprisons them and returns to her lair. Jack and Dylan, inside their snow globes next to each other, have a heartfelt conversation that, by making them nicer, causes the snow globes to break and free them. Zoe and Callum find Jack at the North Pole complex after using a tracker inside him. They realize that Grilla, her team, and Santa never left the North Pole. They also learn that Grilla's team of shapeshifters has taken over the complex. They go to the North Pole and free the imprisoned Mrs. Claus and other security staff. In Santa's old workshop, they find Jack and Dylan and the toy duplicating equipment that Grilla used to mass produce the snow globes. Because the North Pole equipment relies on Santa's powers, Grilla prepares to leave with an unconscious Santa using his sleigh to distribute the snow globes. A fight ensues, and Grilla is stopped by Callum and Jack with an assist from Krampus, who arrives to help. Santa recovers, defeats Grilla, and seals her inside one of her snow globes. Santa acknowledges his brother while Grilla is taken into Zoe's custody. Everyone rapidly prepares for the night's Christmas Eve run. Santa invites Jack and Dylan to accompany him, which they accept. During this successful run, Callum watches Jack regain his wonder and build a relationship with Dylan. This convinces him not to retire. The end.
Oh man, dude, this movie was rough. Like, listen, just getting straight into it. Starting off with the story, very plain Jane.
Yes, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And also a little too long.
Very long.
Like, this could have clearly been cut down to an hour and a half.
Very easily. Very easily. Like, I noticed myself, like, I had to watch this twice because the first time I fell asleep after Krampus.
Really, damn.
So this is when I fell asleep. I fell asleep during the heart-to-heart conversation between Jack and his son. After they broke out and they're just like, "Yay, we've escaped." I was gone to the world. And so I had to rewatch this movie to catch everything I saw or everything I missed after that point.
Damn.
And listen, I thought, I was like, oh, only, like, because I woke up and then they were on the sleigh and Santa was delivering gifts and everything, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so I mean, they seem to wrap that up pretty quick. Nope. I was like,
It's like,
shit,
oh,
didn't
I
realize.
missed 40 minutes.
Yeah, no joke. I was like, dude, like, I went to, like, I found where the credits were and I scrolled back to where it was like the end of the movie. And I was like, all right, cool. And I zoomed back what I thought was like maybe 15 minutes. I was like, oh, like, I think that's about what I missed. Nope. Went back a little bit more. Went back a little bit more. And I was like, good Lord.
How freaking long is this movie?
No joke, dude. It is so long. And yeah, could have been cut down very quickly or to be a little bit more reasonable. Also, the freaking villain could have, like, they could have simplified this villain something awful. like just like by just making it Krampus.
And it would have made perfect sense. Like the
Yeah.
whole like, oh, Santa Claus and Krampus are brothers. Like, didn't really need that.
Yeah, it added nothing to like the Santa Krampus lore. It it almost ruined it for me. I was like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, a little bit. Um, it also raises a lot of questions for me. Um, like I don't know how it comes to mythical creatures, but um, who were their mother and father? Like, I'm really curious. Like, someone was sleeping with another person, right? Like, there ain't no way that they are like blood siblings, right? Like,
Maybe like half siblings.
yeah, like, come on.
If Santa's mom freaking boinked Satan.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean it made no sense whatsoever. I was expecting like someone, I don't know who I was expecting with I was I was thinking maybe like it'd be Jack Frost or something.
that would have made more sense.
Yeah, like it was just
Like when they said like the Snow Witch, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
yeah.
Like, do I
I was
just
like,
not read
from
a lot of
Narnia?
Christmas folklore? Yeah, exactly. Right. Dude, freaking, I know it's trademark from Disney, but freaking bring Martin Short back and have him play Jack Frost again. There we go.
I know, dude. That's what I was expecting. But when he went and wrote down like her name in the sand, I was like, it took me a second. I'm like, what? Like, what does that say? And then they started like saying, "Oh, Grilla," and I'm like, okay. First off, can someone slap the shit out of him if he can't even say the name? Like, I would have heard "guh" and they just knocked his ass out if it was that freaking important that he didn't say the name.
Yeah.
But you gave him like he said it like 3 times.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she had some like bullshit transformation and it was just like, and she's revealed, and I was like, no.
Yeah. It was...
Like make her like Jack Frost. And it like if you wanted to freaking gender bend it, Jackie Frost.
Yeah.
Like not that freaking hard.
Yeah, no. Would have been great. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
More
Then the
sense than
snowman
this.
would have made sense.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, yeah, so dumb. Like, you're gonna freaking throw in like big hitters like the freaking headless horseman, and then you're gonna throw us Grilla the Snow Witch.
Yeah,
Go
dude.
screw yourself.
After they did that, and like I was like, oh shit, and like they say his name and all that. I'm like, oh okay, like who else are they gonna freaking include into this? And because I mean I knew Krampus was coming,
Yeah.
but freaking like like literally after they do the headless horseman, that's it. Like you get Krampus a little more into the movie, but like after that you don't get anybody else cool because who the hell was this witch?
Yeah, no other mythological creatures, like actual mythological creatures.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, you get the snowman, you get the giant polar bear dude, but like, who cares?
Yeah. Like,
Like,
and it wouldn't have been like out of place to have Jack Frost in this movie. It would have made complete sense.
yeah, it would have made complete sense, especially if Jack Frost, like, you could still have had Jack Frost being on the side of Krampus, but it was, I think what ruined it was the motivation that she had wanting to basically punish and capture all the naughty kids. Yo, bitch, that's Krampus's MO.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was that was dumb.
Like, you basically robbed us of Santa versus Krampus.
Which there is a low budget movie of that if you ever want to watch it.
With how much I dig Krampus, maybe.
Like I said, dude, every other design that I see of Krampus, if it's not the one from the 2015 movie, I don't want it.
Yeah, dude. It's so dumb. It is, what they did with the story was so lame.
Like there are some like interesting ideas. Like I feel like the whole like Santa Claus trying to get Callum to stay on and talking how you might not see it, but you see them as adults, you see them as, like these naughty adults that just don't have a care in the world. They don't care about anybody else. But if you look really close, you can still see that inner child. That's who we're fighting for. We're fighting for the children, whether that's someone as a child or their inner child. And I'm not gonna lie, I liked that idea. That was interesting.
Yeah, I
There,
mean the building blocks were there.
yeah, and the opening I thought was actually really cool. How freaking like Santa goes to, like, the actual real Santa will go to a mall just to get his kind of like adrenaline pump, be like, oh yeah, it's like my favorite part of the job.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
dude.
that was
I love
cool. That was
that.
awesome.
I was like, that feels like that's something we've never seen from a Santa before.
Yeah, like, yeah, that was badass.
That he likes to be the freaking mall Santa. Like, I loved that. Absolutely loved that. And so I was pumped, dude. I was like, this feels like a pretty bitchin' Santa.
Yeah. No, like, and it's, we'll get into this with acting, but it kind of sucks that Santa was kidnapped the whole movie, because I feel J.K. Simmons could actually be a really good Santa
Oh,
if
talk about
was
wasted
given.
potential, dude.
Seriously, because freaking the ending when like he's delivering all the presents. I love the idea that, like, he's dressed up in this like Santa sweatsuit, like freaking like all jazzed up, and it makes complete sense because having to deliver presents to millions of kids in one night. Like, I completely understand that he'd have to be in the best shape of his life, wearing the proper attire. I freaking love that. Like, literally, they had a blimp parked up in the sky, and they would keep like making stops for freaking just like another sack of toys, like, and that's how they kept getting their supply. Like, there's some cool ass ideas in this movie. It's just the plot kind of sucks.
Yeah, it got to the point of being garbage.
Yeah,
Like
like, such
like you
cool
said.
ideas introduced in Santa Claus lore, and then there's the story.
Oh man, dude, I was pumped. Like, I loved the inclusion that, like, the Air Force was just kind of in on Santa being real and everything.
Yeah,
And
that
just
was
like
cool.
doing like a freaking takeoff with Santa. Like, that is totally on track with
Yeah,
what, at least what I've told Iris with
see,
Santa.
that's awesome. I love
Cause
that.
because like we freaking NORAD tracks Santa.
Yeah,
Like, the Air Force freaking tracks Santa. Like, come on. Like,
like,
that
yeah,
totally tracks. It's just like, oh yeah,
yeah,
we can use a government website to track Santa on Christmas. And it's just like, yeah, we work with Santa all the time. Like, you could totally like pull that shit off. And I'm like, dude, this is pretty bitchin'.
yeah,
Like, I freaking love all this shit. Like, yeah, the military is all like, they know what's up with Santa. Like, he's basically like a super highly protected being. Like, this totally freaking tracks. And yeah, like, building blocks, dude. And it's just they couldn't execute it well enough for me to be like to care.
yeah. No,
Like, it
honestly,
got to the
after
point
he
where I was like,
gets
eh.
Yeah, like, honestly, after he gets kidnapped, like, the movie lost me up until the ending.
Yep, exactly. Um, and I gotta say, even like Jack O'Malley too, didn't care for him.
No, and that really sucks because freaking Chris Evans, it feels like he's giving it his all, like he is trying.
No, it
But
doesn't.
really, I
Not
felt
even
like
a
he
little
was.
bit, dude. He This will be reflected in acting. Everyone feels like they're phoning it in.
Okay, I mean, I've seen worse performances from Chris Evans. It's definitely no him giving his all for Captain America. But I don't think it was his worst performance.
It's up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, listen, his performance here wasn't unwatchable. It wasn't just horrendous, but by Chris Evans' standard,
Yeah.
this wasn't good.
All right. Fair enough.
And, and we'll get into this again, like with Dwayne Johnson. Like, even he felt like he was freaking phoning it in.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
But no, I think what ruined Jack O'Malley's character though was how they chose to cut a lot of the stuff that he was doing. Like, I think like his little Ocean's 11 heist to get inside that seismic watch building thing. Like I thought like the pieces were cool, but like the way that he just kind of stood and like stared at that baby for like a couple minutes, like or just it was like it was way too long that he's just staring
Yeah.
at this baby and then it's just he walks off. Or the way that he like they have him like grabbing a fire extinguisher, walking for like 5 seconds and then tossing it into the bushes and then continues walking. I'm like, no, you could have had this so it's just grab, toss in the building. Like you could have like ironed this out. Like get rid of the fluff.
They also had to add the icing on the cake of him being an asshole when he takes the
Oh my
sucker from
gosh.
the
I'm like,
kid.
we already get it, dude.
Yeah.
Like we
We're not
just saw this
supposed to like
kid
this
basically.
character. We get it.
Yeah, like you already established that we shouldn't like him because this kid freaking told his cousins that Santa's not real.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I already didn't like him.
Yeah.
Like simply because of that he tried to ruin Christmas for other kids. Like I already dislike him. You don't need to freaking add this taking bait or like candy away from babies. Also, those freaking snow globes, absolute dog shit of a story plot.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. That
Yeah,
was
he
so
had
dumb.
a minor breakthrough with his kid and was able to break out of them. Go screw yourself.
Ain't no way that like just one nice little deed gets you off the naughty list that fast.
It wasn't even that nice of a deed. It was just realizing that he's shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should try harder. Oh, you just got moved to the nice list.
Yeah, forget that. And like they never established what the hell level 4 naughty lister means.
They did not. Yeah, like seriously.
I'm like, oh shit! Like, what the hell did he do to get me on a like level 4?
Because like they even like point out like, oh, from when they're like talking about like naughty listers, they're like like from the killers to the bottom, like just like like littering or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, so like what level are like killers at? Like, is that like a level 10 or does it go even higher than that?
Exactly my question. I was like, dude, is he on the same list as like freaking like psychopaths? Like, if I cross the street without a crosswalk, am I getting put on the same list as like Dahmer?
Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't say Gacy.
Gacy was a given.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, good point. But yeah, just imagine he's level 4, and then freaking like Gacy, Bundy, and Dahmer are just level 5. I'm just like, how the hell does that make sense that he's just one level below probably the 3 most notorious serial killers in history?
No joke.
Like
I what is the structure for this naughty list?
yeah, like
And also like the lore that they set up. Like this is like maybe this is a writing issue. And help me decide on this. Is this a writing issue? They discussed that Krampus is the one that created the naughty list. But Santa didn't like that he had created this list because he was using it to punish children. If that is the case, why does Santa still have the naughty list?
I agree with what you say, and I think that's a writing thing.
Okay. Yeah, then I will dock it accordingly.
Okay.
This was just a super plain Jane story, dude. Like it had very little going for it. Like it had, like we said, good building blocks.
Yeah.
Did not use those blocks to their fullest potential whatsoever.
And it blows my mind that this is directed by the same guy that did Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Like, and that movie has a lot, like fair. Like I saw Caleb shake his head, but like I feel that one introduces like better ideas than this, and like okay, wait, let me retract here. Like you said, this movie has some good ideas, but just the story all in all is just not great.
Yeah.
Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle introduces some good ideas, and the story on the whole, for the most part, is actually pretty damn solid.
True. Like the story for Welcome to the Jungle, very solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why he couldn't freaking keep up with this one.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I am maybe at a 74 when it comes to story. Like it was, I think minus the good building blocks, I'd probably be at like a 70, which is just very like mid tier for me.
Yeah.
This is barely below, barely above average, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah, my barely above average is like 75, or that's like my mid. That might be my mid tier. Very mid is like 70. So yeah, 74 is where I'm sitting with that. It
Yeah.
was no bueno.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna be a little higher than Caleb because like it's definitely like barely above average. It's not great. And like we've said, like the building blocks are there. Like you have some very interesting ideas. It's just the story was just whoo-wee. So I think story wise, I'm gonna actually just be 2 points higher at you at a 76.
Fair enough. All right, moving on over to writing. This was kind of bullshit too.
Yeah. Was it worse than the story or slightly better?
Maybe a hair. Honestly, it might have been on par. Honestly,
I'd
like
actually
listen,
put it
they
a
had
little
some.
lower.
You would?
Yeah, honestly. Like personally, I'm just gonna get this out there right now. Writing, I'm gonna give a 74.
I'm actually putting it right on the same level as my story, so I'm also sitting at a 74. It
Fair.
wasn't like it wasn't bad. It's just
No.
they left you with more questions than answers. They overcomplicated it. Something awful.
Like okay, freaking, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I've seen more disturbing shit than that. Um there is this a scene when they're at the beach and they're fighting these snowmen, and Dwayne Johnson's character is using his contraption that he has on his wrist to keep shrinking and to keep shrinking from one
How freaking dumb.
it was very dumb. Like he kept going from small to big, you know, like, and that's how he was fighting these snowmen, whatever. And also,
Listen,
I
it
think,
wasn't even like shrunk into Ant-Man size. He was like maybe he went from like his full height to maybe half his height.
yeah. And then freaking like at the end of all of this, Chris Evans' character is just like, well, that was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. I'm like, how? Like, seriously? That is the most disturbing. Okay, all right, buddy. All right.
Like this is like shitty Ant-Man.
Like seriously, you. I keep bringing this up. You literally saw bare ass snowmen, and that was more disturbing than that.
Yeah. Dude, what about the freaking this is something that pissed me off when they were going through the toy store and they were grabbing like random shit off the shelf and whatnot. What did he grab Monopoly for?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that never comes into play.
Yeah, all he does is like the only thing he grabs a bunch of shit. He grabs like a yo-yo and like a bunch of like other
Yeah,
stuff too.
yeah. The
But
only things that come into play are the Rock'em Sock'em robots and the car that Jack grabs.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, like it was two cars. Like all he transforms is like a chicken or like a rubber chicken, two or a fancy car, a truck, the snowmobile, and then the Rock'em Sock'em robots. Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing
No, I
anything.
think that's it.
Yeah. And so he grabs like Monopoly and I'm like, what the hell was that for? But yeah, like here's an issue, another issue that I had with the writing. A lot of the jokes, like there were some jokes that came in way too late. Like,
Yeah.
didn't he talk about like specifically that his thing couldn't work on like certain toys? Like it only worked on like vehicles and stuff. Like I feel like he gave like a briefing of what he's capable of transforming.
I think the only thing I remember is when Chris Evans' character was just saying, "Oh, do you have a Wonder Woman action figure?" to the clerk, and he's just like, "Oh, it's not how it doesn't work like that."
Yeah.
But
I
like they
felt like
don't.
he said something before that though.
He
That would have
might have.
implied.
Yeah, he probably did, but like just they didn't really go into enough detail to explain what can be turned
Like why
into
that
life.
wouldn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, what got me was that they waited so long to make that joke after, like, this is how it should have gone. Like, it should have been like they go outside, he makes the car real, and then he's like, "Oh shit," and then runs back inside, makes the joke. And then like he comes back in, like Callum like storms back in, grabs him, just yanks him out of the toy store.
you know
Versus him
what's
walking, like them having had like a full blown adventure in the souped up car, and then him being like, "Yo, do you have a Wonder Woman action?" Like while they're walking through it again.
dude, like it's funny you say that because I swear that that's how they played it in the trailer.
It
That
is,
it,
and that's
that's
exactly
yeah,
how they pulled
yeah,
it in the trailer.
yeah. So like, how the hell does it make more sense in the trailer? Freaking clips that are just jumbled together more than it does in the goddamn movie.
Yeah, freaking bullshit.
Oh.
Trying to think of other stupid shit, like other than like we already discussed, the villain was written super poorly. Like I didn't care about her at all.
I didn't either. And like freaking I didn't really care for Krampus that much either. Like he could have been written a lot better. Um
He should have been made the main villain.
he really should
Like,
have.
why
Freaking
are you going to go and soup someone up in a pimpin' freaking outfit, like a practical outfit, just to waste them like you did?
no, like, seriously, because freaking the part where he tells Chris Evans, I should probably actually say their names, Jack, basically says, "Oh, hey, I'm tell Nick or Mrs. Claus or whatever that Callum's now going to be my prisoner, and tell him that there's consequences when you come into my fortress or some shit like that." And then freaking immediately, Jack's just like, "Oh, hey, how about we just play you? And if I win or if he wins, slapping you, what was it? Yeah, sorry. If we win when he slaps you, you let both of us go when, he could have gone, which I get why they wanted him to stay. Or if you win, we become your prisoners forever." Just like it was so fast that
It's like,
like it,
bitch, how about I just eat you?
no, like seriously, like you don't even get like a chance to think like, oh shit, like that's like that's like pretty like kind of like in a way messed up to send back to the North Pole. Hey, your top security guard who was going to retire after this basically now has to live the rest of his life out as one of my prisoners. No, we're just going to give that thought for like 5 seconds. Oh, hey, how about we play a game of slap the shit out of each other? And if we win, we both walk. But if you win, we are both your prisoners. Not going to make those stakes at all.
Oh
Sound
my
good? Okay.
gosh. This is how it should have gone. They should have planned all of this out before that. Like, so Callum, I think Callum should have been the one to make the bet with Krampus. I think that would have improved where he's like gambling for his own freedom.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
And then it's also just like, all right, well, if you like you take me prisoner, and then you like on top of that, like bonus, you get this guy, and then have Jack be like, yo, what the hell? And
That
then
would have been so much better.
yeah, so have Callum make it, have him go and talk to Jack and be like, yo, go grab my freaking magic bracelet shit, and like so I can win this, and then then it'd be a little bit more obvious what Jack is doing when he's like kind of like shifting through the crowd and whatnot, and then have him like keep almost getting it, and then that's when he gets freaking slapped like no other.
Yeah,
Like that would have played out so much better than the bullshit that they did.
agreed. Agreed.
It's just bad. It was just poorly written.
Definitely.
Ugh. All right, moving on over to acting. Going through this cast list, we got Dwayne Johnson, who plays Callum Drift, Chris Evans, who plays Jack O'Malley, Lucy Liu, who plays Zoe, J.K. Simmons, who plays Jolly Old Saint Nick, We got Bonnie Hunt, who plays Mrs. Claus. We got Kiernan Shipka, who plays Grilla. Christopher Hivju, who plays Krampus. I didn't realize that was him.
I didn't either.
And then we got Wesley Kimmel, who plays Dylan. Why do I know that kid? Is he... Okay, so he's not Jimmy... Oh. He's Jimmy Kimmel's nephew.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But no, what else is he from? WandaVision.
Who did he play in WandaVision?
That's a great question. I'm looking that up right now because I don't recall him for shit. He wasn't any of the kids, was he?
I don't think so.
Commercial Boy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Totally
What?
remember that role. Yep, there he is. Yep. That's him. Wow. Breakout role there. 100%.
Oh, he's also in Mandalorian. Okay. He's like in an episode of Mandalorian. This kid's been in a few things. Oh, he did the voice for Greg Heffley in Cabin Fever.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling I freaking knew him. I don't know if they could have found anyone that looks further from Chris Evans.
Seriously. I never.
Dude,
would've
I was
thought
like,
they were.
listen, I would maybe buy Uncle. Like, you're not telling me this kid is his dad or this kid is his son.
Yeah, like
what?
straight up. Oh man.
All right, what's your top 3 looking like?
Well, the acting was not strong from literally anyone, like you
Nope.
pointed out. So, I think number one, I'm gonna actually say I know he wasn't in a lot, but just because I had a fun time watching him every single time he was on screen, I'm gonna give number one to J.K. Simmons.
Dude, same.
Hell yeah. And it sucks because he could actually do. I really liked his iteration of Santa Claus. It was a lot of fun. It was different, which I really liked. Way different from any other iterations I've seen. But since the story is centered around him being kidnapped and his freaking magic being used for the snow globe shit, you don't see a lot of him, and it sucks.
Yeah. This made me like rethink Santa in such a perfect way. I was just like, of course Santa's just like this skinny dude. And yeah, if he's burning that many like calories in a night, like of course he needs milk and he needs freaking carbs, like
Yeah.
milk and cookies. Like I'm like, dude, like this perfectly explains Santa.
Yeah. No, literally everything that they add to the folklore or the lore of Santa, makes complete sense. And it's a welcome addition. Loved it.
Oh, dude, and his Santa was so funny too. Like I loved when he took the bite of that one macaroon and it was just like a tiny little nibble and he like put it back.
That was great.
Oh, so freaking funny, dude. Like I loved it. And then his suit was freaking bitching too. Like, and I like that his hat wasn't like a typical Santa hat. It was like a beanie.
Yeah.
Like I was totally vibing with his version of Santa.
I was too. What did you think of the reindeer? Because I'm not used to reindeer like towering over Santa. What did you think of that?
Listen, Magic Reindeer, I was there for it. I'm like,
No, fair. It did make sense. It lined up.
yeah, I'm like, this tracks.
Yeah.
This absolutely tracks. And I love that they showed the magic happening where it was like their antlers glowing and then like they would freaking blast off. I'm like, okay, like you guys have nailed the Magic Reindeer.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I want to look up something first.
Yeah.
Before I feel like I'm talking out of my ass. Okay, never mind. I was gonna make a comment about all of the reindeer being females. But I was like, I don't know if females grow antlers, but they just said that in reindeer, it is the only species where the females grow antlers.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So it tracks.
makes sense.
It doesn't like, at least just based off of the quick pictures I've seen, it doesn't look like their antlers grow as like majestically
Okay,
as like okay, never mind. I might be talking out of my ass. Oh, no. Yeah, the female or their antlers are a bit smaller, and then the male reindeers are like bigger and have kind of like they grow out wider,
interesting.
where the female antlers end up looking more like typical deer. Like male reindeers have kind of like that moose where it cups.
Okay, interesting.
Again, not a scientist. I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass for all I know. So don't fact check me on that.
Just imagine DJ coming after you. Actually, Caleb, this
Shit. But yeah, my same with me. J.K. Simmons got number 1.
Oh yeah.
Listen, it wasn't hard to beat out the main 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think what your number 2 is gonna be. Because like I mean, I feel like 2 and 3 are gonna be like the main stars of the movie. So just I feel like I probably had like more fun watching him on screen than I did the other. So yeah, number 2, I think I'm gonna give to Chris Evans.
Really?
Yeah. And number 3, I'll give to Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. I don't know, just like I like, like you said, Chris Evans, not his best performance, definitely not. But for the most part, I did have a fun time watching him. Like I feel that his and The Rock's chemistry, like I'm sorry to say, like wasn't there. Like it wasn't that great in this movie.
No.
And like one of the only times that I laughed, and I think it was in the trailer, was when The Rock's character comes in. He's just like, I'm not gonna like you. I already know it. Out of everybody in this room, I already like you the least. And like that genuinely made me laugh. That was actually funny.
It's like that wasn't even scripted.
Right?
That was just Chris Evans speaking his mind.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, no, like not his best performance, not nothing to write home about, but for the most part I did enjoy Chris Evans as Jack O'Malley. Dwayne Johnson, he was fine in this. He'd get number 3. Not his best performance, not his worst. It's just I've seen him. I like when he can be goofy. I think he's better when it comes to him being able to be a little goofy. I don't love him always having to be like full on serious, which is what he had to be in this role, really. Because I don't know, like if I want to see him like super serious, I'm just gonna freaking go watch old wrestling videos. I want to see, because I feel like Dwayne Johnson can actually do some comedy. Like we've seen that in Jumanji, and so like when
Jumanji, freaking Central Intelligence.
Yeah, like he can do really good comedy, but when we go back to him just being this stern kind of guy, like in this or Black Adam, like it's not my cup of tea. Like I like Dwayne Johnson more in comedy roles, and so this performance wasn't bad by any means. It wasn't horrible. Like I feel for what
this was The Rock playing The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the character that he was given, which was basically The Rock as an elf bodyguard, he did fine, but just it wasn't like anything special. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate his performance. Like he definitely basically did everything that was given to him, I guess. Like he took the role and did the best that he could with it for how they wanted his role portrayed. Or how they wanted this character portrayed. So yeah, that's what I say. Didn't hate it, but didn't hate his performance, but didn't love it either.
Yeah, I think he took himself too seriously in this role. I personally would have really enjoyed if he actually was like an elf.
Yeah,
and then the magic bracer is what made him big.
That would have been hilarious.
Like, I think that would have been so much funnier, but then they wasted that freaking joke on the snowmen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's freaking lame. But yeah, I'm with you. I enjoyed Chris Evans' performance way more than I appreciate or like The Rock's.
Yeah.
But no one else was in the movie enough to warrant anyone else getting a number 3. Like that's really the only reason he's sitting at number 3.
That's fair. Like, honestly, the only one that I would have thought, and it's only because I just love her to death. Like, I think she's a great actress. Would be Bonnie Hunt as Mrs. Claus, but she wasn't in it enough. And
Yeah.
it's solely on the fact that I just love her not only as a person but as an actress.
Yeah. I think this movie's issue is it took itself too seriously.
Yeah, like seriously.
Like it just felt like such a downer.
No, like freaking. I think that this movie should have taken some notes from like the Santa Claus movies, because
Yes.
I feel like there are some serious moments in those movies, like when it comes to North Pole security, shit like that. But they still make it fun at the end.
Yeah, it's
Like
just one
for
of those like so outrageous, it's funny. But here it was just like you had these big ass freaking military members that were the head of or the security team for Santa, and it was just it wasn't fun. Like the security team all being all children with the Santa Claus movies.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that was like freaking great. Like, yeah, especially in the first one when I forget like the team that they send in to break out Santa Claus. Yeah, no, it's still freaking all elves.
Yeah,
Like, that is just freaking great.
yeah, but I couldn't even tell you. Like, is he? Like, were those little, like, gremlin-looking creatures, were those the elves? Were those
No,
supposed to be the elves?
dude, I have no, like, seriously, like, literally, it seems all they cared about in this movie was just showcasing Santa's security, the security side of the North Pole, and nothing else. Like, yeah, like seriously, like you never saw any like toy production, you never saw elves doing that shit. So like, if someone told me, "Oh yeah, elves don't exist in this universe. It's only like a code name for like security," I would have believed you, because we don't really see any elves.
I would love to know who the target audience was for this movie.
I agree. Same here.
Like, it wasn't kids.
No,
It
definitely not.
like, it sure as hell wasn't adults either. It was, like, too goofy for adults, too serious for kids. Like, was this meant for, like, teenagers? Like, even teenagers, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable sending my kid to watch this movie.
Yeah, like it really doesn't have a demographic.
Yeah, like, I think that's probably where this movie went wrong, is it just you don't know who it's for.
No, speaking of this movie and who it's for, um, when you go into a restroom at a movie theater, do you ever see like decals plastered on the mirrors and stuff like that? Do you ever see that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, because Sammy would agree with me on this one. It has been years since I've seen Cinemark do that, but I saw decals for this movie plastered throughout the like 3 to 4 mirrors that are in bathrooms. Like, they were just freaking everywhere. There was that, and usually I feel like when it comes to the concession stand, they don't have a lot of stuff like hanging above. No, they made sure they went all out with this movie. I remember them freaking hanging shit up the night that I think I went to see Bride of Chucky. Like the night before Halloween, they're just like, "Oh yeah, we got to get this shit up. We got to make sure that we are promoting the hell out of this movie." So it was that, the freaking decals in the bathroom. Like, they were really trying to push this goddamn movie. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to think about Krampus staring at me when I'm trying to take a leak.
Yeah, no thank you.
But yeah, just freaking, it's been years since I've seen decals in a movie theater bathroom. So I
Yeah,
was like
at least
very
for, like, movie-related ones.
yeah, like throwing it back to, like COVID, like they're just like, "Oh, like, remember, we always keep your seats clean. We will even include a towel with you if you want to wipe your seat and table down." Showing like how Cinemark is practicing good health habits to prevent COVID-19. That made complete sense. That's completely understandable. But
Yeah.
And I loved him for that. But then freaking like, yeah, you just get, you get Krampus, you get Nick, you get Dwayne Johnson, you get Chris Evans just plastered all over the freaking mirror, and it's a little weird.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Listen, no one was bringing their A game with this movie.
No, not one bit.
Like, not even a little bit. This is one, like, just from what I've come to expect from these actors, all of them. Like, even listen, I don't expect anything near the 90s when it comes to Dwayne Johnson. I have not seen him in anything that makes me believe that he's capable of reaching that number.
Fair.
The closest he's ever gotten is maybe Black Adam.
Fair enough.
But that's a hard maybe. But I don't expect a lot, and I know that this wasn't his best.
Yeah.
Same deal with Chris Evans. I know he's capable of much better. I'm not even taking Captain America off of his roster. I still would expect better from him.
Yeah, different, especially after. Have you ever seen Snowpiercer?
Oh, I love Snowpiercer.
Right, so good. That's like the immediate movie beside, like you said, Captain America. That I think, yeah, that is acting when it comes to Chris Evans.
Yeah, straight up, dude. That movie gets a lot of shit, and it does not deserve it.
No, it is a really good movie.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one that just ages good.
Definitely agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and then J.K. Simmons, we know he's capable of top tier acting.
Dude, oh my god. Please tell me you've seen Whiplash.
Oh, of course I've seen Whiplash.
Okay, good. Yeah, dude, freaking I watched that recently. Again. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't freaking include that in weekly watches like a couple weeks ago when I watched it again. Whatever. Yeah, God, his freaking performance, phenomenal in that movie. Him and Miles Teller like bantering off each other. I love it so much.
So good. Yeah, but no, I don't even believe he brought his A game here. All of these actors freaking phoned it in. Something awful.
Yeah, I agree.
It was rough. Honestly, I think the only guy that actually put forth some actual effort in his performance was the guy that got frozen by the snowman.
Nick Kroll?
Yeah. I think he was the only one that felt like he put genuine effort.
That didn't surprise me because I feel like no matter what it is, Nick Kroll usually always gives his all. Doesn't matter what it is. And you know what? I appreciate him for that. That's freaking awesome of him. Doesn't matter if it's gonna be dog shit. He's like, I'm gonna give this my all.
Oh my gosh, dude, he's so
love you
good.
For it.
Have you have you watched his show Big Mouth?
Yes, I have.
On Netflix. Oh my gosh, he's so good in that.
He is. God, his freaking voice acting is off the charts.
Otherworldly.
Incredible. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, he's so good. There's times I can't even tell it's him.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, but I think acting wise, dude, I'm sitting 70. This was as mid can get.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna match you there. Yeah, I can't even talk myself going up from that.
It'd be tough too.
Yeah, no, seriously.
All right, next up, character development. Listen, there was some because when it came to Callum, but that's about it.
Yeah, because freaking the people can make the argument oh, what about Jack? He gets off the naughty list. Yeah, barely. All he realizes, hey, I've been a shitty father, and maybe I think I'm gonna try a little harder.
I think that's honestly all that happens. Is he points out that he's shitty and then just says, I'll try to be better. Yeah. And then poof, not on the naughty list anymore. Screw that. I want to see your metrics for the naughty list.
No, seriously, because earlier in the movie, he points out oh yeah, I've his mom is married to an actual good dad, and so I've been distancing myself because I don't want him to be around me, and just I think it's going to be better for him. That is never the case because all you're the only thing that your kid is going to think that their actual father just abandoned them. They're never going to think like, oh yeah, this is for the better, unless they like really truly have gotten to know you and they know the kind of person that you are, and they like have come to their conclusion
Yeah,
that
that
their
is
own
for your
conclusion that
kid
you're
to
a piece of
decide.
shit. Yeah, like don't just assume like, oh yeah, it's better for my kid. No, it's not. Like let your kid make that own conclusion, come to that own conclusion.
Yeah. Listen, I think I might have bought this change of heart a little bit more had I not seen this dude steal candy from a baby
Fair.
and then
Yeah.
committed arson.
Yeah.
Like this dude lit a a Christmas display on fire and stole candy from a child.
Dude, I was shocked that he actually paid for those churros.
I know. Like freaking nuts, dude. I'm like, what is your moral line at?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, because those don't seem even.
No, they do not.
But yeah, I mean, sure, he made a little bit of a change. Cal, same deal, like a little bit of a change where he just shifted from like seeing only the naughty, and then now he's seeing the inner child of people. That fell out of the blue, like his
It,
little shift.
yeah, it did. And it sucks because like freaking when Nick explains that to him at the beginning, you're just like, okay, you know what? That's actually like a cool idea. I like that. You're fighting for you're fighting for the children, whether it's someone that's an actual child or the inner child. I love that idea. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah,
But
dude,
then
listen, that conversation should have been at the end of the movie.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like it was just not good. Not this is a tough one. This is barely I don't even know if I'm in the 70s with this one. I'm probably sitting at like a 69. Like it was no bueno.
Yeah, that's fair. Shit, you know what? I think I'm gonna match you again, man. I'm trying my hardest to push it up to 70, but I can't.
Yeah. Here's where the movie redeems itself a little bit. The effects weren't half bad.
They weren't. There was some like scenes that I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, that I can definitely sense some CGI there, but I can excuse it a little bit because of like the grandeur that they were trying to do. Like freaking when they're trying to rescue Nick, like once they find out that he's been kidnapped, and you see like Dwayne Johnson like running throughout the North Pole, sliding down all these slides and shit. Like there were moments that I'm just like, okay, yeah, clearly that is definitely filmed on a green screen, or that's definitely not Dwayne Johnson, that's CGI, shit like that.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't like super noticeable that it took me out of the scene.
Yeah. Like yeah, noticeable enough. The only other like real complaint, I like the snowman scene, like when he started shrinking himself down and was like jumping all over his snowman. I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like
I will
very
say
rubbery.
the Rock'em Sock'em robots when they came to life, those actually
Oh,
look
those
pretty
were
damn good.
so cool. And
Yeah,
those are
that was
so
pretty.
wasted.
Yeah, like seriously, literally not even like 30 seconds into them fighting the Krampus's
Yeah,
henchmen.
comes and
Krampus
slapped the shit out of them.
punches his head off. I'm just like, really? Like they should have had the effect that freaking the toy soldiers do in the Santa Claus 2.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you. I mean, honestly, to this day, those still scare the shit out of me.
Yep.
Like freaking, I could, as a kid, I could handle Michael Myers, Chucky, Freddy Krueger, Jason. But when it came to those freaking toy soldiers in Santa Claus 2, terrified. Absolutely terrified. When he freaking made them life size, I'm just like, oh hell no. Hell to the no.
Just oh man. Yeah, this wasn't like freaking Oppenheimer, but this was like it wasn't horrible. Like
No.
this might be the higher point for me. I haven't decided. Like it's either going to be between effects or costumes. That's going to be highest for me.
Fair.
But effects wise, I'm probably like 84 maybe. Like the effects were above average. Like I love the effect when he was when they were taking off in the sleigh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
that
really
looks
good.
so dope.
I think I think I'm actually considering if I want to change that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna be a couple points higher to you, 86. Why not?
Fair. All right, moving on over to music.
Nothing really special here. Like there were some like
Surprising for a Christmas movie.
yeah, like you had like a couple like classic Christmas songs, but they were like they were like so shortly used,
Yeah, background music
especially
at best.
felt so thrown in there that like I can't even remember one Christmas song that they used in this movie.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, and I freaking watched this shit yesterday.
Yeah, dude, I watched it today. So that that tells you everything that you need to know.
Yeah, like this is maybe a 5.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree.
It is such a forgettable soundtrack.
How do you mess up a Christmas movie when there is so much Christmas music at your disposal?
I know. You couldn't freaking use like a badass Carol of the Bells for a chase scene?
Yeah.
Like go freaking basic bitch with it for all I care.
No, like seriously.
Like come on. Like you guys dropped the ball if you can't freaking get us to remember a Christmas movie. Like the soundtrack on a Christmas movie. Like Hallmark movies, dude. Hallmark movies are 7 out of 10 music at worst.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That is absolutely insane that you
It
dropped
really
the
is.
ball that ridiculously hard.
Yep.
All right, next up we got costumes.
The one area where the movie actually shined for the most part.
Okay, for some characters, yes. Jack or so like Jack's character, any of the human characters were meh. Very meh.
Makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
classic attire. I get it.
And then Santa Claus, awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like I loved his outfit. Felt very different from things that we've seen in the past. And
I appreciated.
yeah, like I love when they're able to add something to Santa.
Yeah.
Like almost create like a new standard for Santa. Like I remember watching this video about like the just the art of being a Santa. Like there's a Santa Academy.
That's
Like, do you
awesome.
know that?
I didn't, but that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a straight up Santa Academy where you go, you learn how to properly laugh like Santa. They teach you how to like style your beard. And if you don't have like a beard, like they teach you how to like proper maintenance of like your fake beards, maintenance on suits, like all this stuff. They'll even have classes on sign language. They'll teach
That's
you
awesome.
they'll teach you basic phrases in different languages. Like they want like when you graduate from like this Santa Academy, like you are as Santa as you could possibly be.
Dude, honestly, that makes me smile so hard. Like that is just great.
Yeah, but they were talking like one of my favorite things that they were talking about was the suits. Because this was right after the Christmas Chronicles came out on Netflix.
Mhm.
Like it had been out for a few months. But they were talking about that and like this whole Santa thing, it was like a video shot like right at shortly after that movie had come out. But they were talking like about how Santa in pop culture shifts a lot and how it affects the Santas at this academy or just like everyone because they're like like no one really had a standard for Santa. Like our standard was like the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. Like that was what we were all kind of
Yeah.
shooting for. And then the movie The Santa Claus comes out with Tim Allen and then that was our standard for what Santa should look like.
Still my
Like,
favorite Santa Claus.
yeah, like the suit and everything. And then they're like, and then there was no real major shifts until this movie comes out, The Christmas Chronicles, and it's like a leather like Santa suit with like crazy fur, like leather gloves and like it. Have you seen Kurt Russell's Santa?
Yeah, I've never seen the movies, but I have seen how the suit looks.
Okay, yeah. So that's what they were talking about, and like that, and they're like, and that became the new like standard, like of what we were aiming for, and
All
like
right.
and then that was the shift. Like we shifted from Tim Allen to Kurt Russell, and
Interesting.
so they were talking about that. And I'm like, I'm curious to see whether this movie had a shift
Yeah.
or made a shift in the Santa community. I don't want to. I want to say I doubt it because I feel like typical like super fit Santa isn't the standard.
Fair.
But yeah, all these guys are like elderly retirement age and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I highly doubt it. But love this Santa outfit.
Yes, looked great.
And then Callum's was okay, I guess.
Yeah, like it was like a stealthy red and green suit. A tactical red green suit.
Yeah, I want to look at it again. I didn't even realize it was supposed to be green. It looked black in the movie.
Dude, it is dark as hell green.
Yeah, they should have made that of like the freaking promotional images. Like, why they should have made it like a lot brighter green.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the green being a little more vibrant.
Yeah, and then Santa looked freaking dope. Like, I love that he just like looks dirty. Like he's tactical Santa.
Yeah, straight up. I love it.
Yeah.
Um
I'm just scrolling through like other pictures, and like I know he has like the sleeveless version, like the
yeah.
vest. Like that looks pretty dope.
Since it was actually a practical suit, even though we talked about it throughout the episode. Krampus, what'd you think of?
Oh, Krampus was amazing.
Yeah, he looked like I said, despite how I like, certain versions look better, this still looked great. Like I love this practical suit. The freaking fur on him looked freaking great. Just like he looks badass.
My personal favorite moment of this is when it's his turn to slap Callum. And he just like grips the side of his head and he's just like, oh God. Like that made me laugh so hard.
Because doesn't Callum only do it because he does it like he puts his hand to Krampus's face like twice? I
I think
think
he does it like 3 times because he's like 1, 2, and then just wham, like
Yeah.
slaps the shit. So maybe it's twice, and then he slaps him on the third.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
Because
then
I thought
Krampus like grips his whole freaking face, and he's just like, "Yeah, like should I kill you, or should I like let you live a little bit?" Like, good lord.
Jack's just like, "Are you okay?" He's just like, "No, I just got bitch slapped."
Oh man, yeah, that I thought that was like the one bit of acting that came out of The Rock that I actually liked, where he just full face. Oh God, boom across the whole freaking room.
Oh,
I love that
man.
he has that red mark across his
Yeah.
whole freaking face. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Yeah. Dude, I'll be real. Off of all the promotional shit, I was expecting the polar bear a little bit more.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, like Garcia was only in, what, 2 scenes?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Was that Frank Grillo?
Really? Was it?
It sounded like him.
It might be.
Let me see the cast real quick. Oh, what was his name? Garcia?
Yeah, Garcia.
Let's see here. I will say, like, just because it kind of ties in, the designs for the snowmans weren't bad.
Yeah, no, those are pretty cool.
Like, I liked how they each had their own like thing. Like, one was wearing the little like hat, the other one was smoking a pipe, and then you had like your just plain Jane snowman.
Yeah.
His name was Garcia.
Yeah.
I am not seeing him on the Cast list.
Oh, I found a thing.
What thing?
So it looks so I found a thing. Yeah, like it doesn't, because I just looked up Red One Garcia polar bear, and it did bring up an article that says that the voice of him was Ronaldo for barrel, because it just points out like how when he was cast, he thought he would be teaming up with Dwayne Johnson, but he was only half right because it was motion capture.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, he was put under Elf Agent Garcia, and I'm like, what?
Okay. Well, actually, I know that. Okay, I take back what I said. They don't like talk about motion capture at all, so I don't know if that's what they did or if it was just straight up like a CGI character and he just voiced him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'd be
It wouldn't surprise
surprised
me
if
if it
they
was just
CG.
if they like went the extra mile for motion capture, like that it was just CGI.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably like an 8 for costumes.
I was thinking
I
the
think
same
the
thing.
outfits are good, are really good. They look solid, like really well built. I think they should have gone with a brighter, more vibrant green for Callum's suit, because it just looked red and
Definitely.
black, and I was like, that doesn't really fit with the tone. But yeah, when I was looking at pictures, like it's super green, like it's freaking like
Yeah.
Aquaman green.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So 8.
Yep. Yeah. 8.
All right. Last up, we got personal score.
Who's going first?
Who do you want to go first?
I think I went first last time. So you want to go?
Okay. Right out of the gate, I'm like maybe a 77. It's like, listen, this wasn't a horrible Christmas movie. It was like, it could have been more fun. It could have been better written and whatnot. But I think overall, it was plain. It was just a very average Christmas movie. And as much as I wanted to enjoy this more, like I had a decent enough time with it for me to look on this a little bit more favorably than anything. You know what? 77 seems high.
Dude, I was thinking that because that took me back. I'm just like, dude, am I actually gonna be lower than Caleb on this one?
Dude, I'm sitting here just looking at the 77. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. Oh gosh, I might be like, okay. My average is 75. I might be a hair below. I'm 73. 73 feels better on my body.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair. I was
Dude,
yeah, I was
that was
thinking
the
like,
one
damn,
score I was
Caleb
sitting
is
here
being
just like, dude, no.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, now I feel a
Yeah.
little better about my score.
73.
So I'm just slightly above Caleb, just by one. I'm at a 74, even though I was going to be a couple points behind him at first. Yeah. So like this wasn't. It was all right. Like like it wasn't as bad as I feel like a lot of people have said it was. It wasn't god awful. It wasn't horrible. It is very watchable. Or what? Not very watchable. It's watchable. There we go. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't see myself watching this probably ever again.
Nope.
Like I had a decent enough time with it. That's why it's getting a 74 personally. Like I had a decent enough time watching Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons. The acting was definitely not top notch for many of them, but from start to finish, even though there was some stuff that could have been cut out, it didn't need to be 2 hours. It could have easily been an hour and a half. I still had a decent enough time that I am glad that I did check it out. Like it definitely was not a great Christmas movie. Like I said, I probably will never watch this movie again. It's definitely not added to my Christmas movies I'll watch every single year. But I'm glad that I did watch it at least once. So personal 74.
Hell yeah. All right, going through these scores real quick. Starting off with story, we ended up averaging out to a 75. Writing got 1 point lower, sitting at a 74. Acting got a little bit lower, sitting at a 70. Character development got lower than that, sitting at a 69. The effects got a pretty decent bump, sitting at an 85. The music was as plain as you can possibly get. We gave that a 5 out of 10. The costumes and the character design were also pretty decent point of this movie. So we gave this an 8 out of 10. And then our personal score ended up averaging out to a 73.5. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Red One has come out to a C.
Yeah, it's deserved.
Very much deserved.
Yeah.
Any higher, it would have felt.
Oh, dude, if it got a C plus, I would have been honestly pretty mad.
Yeah, and listen, it's right in the middle, too.
Right where it belongs.
Yeah, so our cutoff for a C is 76% on the high end and 73 on the low end. So this is sitting at a 75.
Okay.
Which actually puts it in a 3-way tie.
No shit.
Yeah. So this puts it in a 3-way tie with Saban's Power Rangers.
What? We put this movie on the same level as Power Rangers, a movie that is, to me, 100 times better.
I think that was one that's other people had input.
Okay, all right. I'll accept that.
This is also on the same level as Strange World, which feels very on par.
Yeah, I would give Red One a little bump, but yeah, it's definitely on the same level.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, so it's sitting at a 75.18%. So that puts it below Venom, the first one.
Okay, yeah, fair.
It is below The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I would actually rather watch Rise of Skywalker than Red One.
All right, fair.
It is below Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, it is below 2019's The Addams Family.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And then it is below the Garfield movie.
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch the Garfield movie again.
All right, going the opposite direction, it is sitting above Surf's Up.
Ooh, Sammy's not gonna like that.
Yeah, that one is all on us too.
Oh man,
I think.
Forget. I remember. I don't know if I told you this. I might have already, but freaking, she had a work party recently, and they were having it at Megaplex, and she was telling me like, I really hope that the movie they're showing is not going to be Red One. Turned out to be Elf. But yeah, no, I'm curious if she's checked Red One out at all on Prime Video. I haven't asked her. But yes, I'm very curious how she's gonna react to freaking coming in above Surf's Up.
Yeah, it's also so Red One is also sitting above Scoob.
Damn, we were that mean to Scoob. I mean, it's not great.
Scoob, listen, a C movie's not horrible.
Fair enough.
Like Scoob is like I've rewatched that a while ago. It is a C movie.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Let's see. It's also above Saltburn.
Yeah, fair. Definitely.
It is above Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I might disagree with that one.
Yeah, I think that one's one where like all the individual parts were really low.
Oh, okay.
But our personal score was higher.
Okay, makes sense.
It is above the Forever Purge.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then it is above Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You know, speaking of the Purge, like it's like I still enjoy watching the first Purge and the Forever Purge, but it is definitely clear that after James DeMonaco stopped directing them, that they lost their luster a little bit. They weren't as enjoyable.
Yeah, just a hair.
Yeah, because like freaking, I mean the Purge, I get because it's basically just a home invasion movie, but they were just starting out and they didn't have that big of a budget. But freaking the Purge Anarchy, especially the Purge Anarchy and the Purge Election Year, both are like they both establish the rules of the Purge well. They dive into the lore of it very well. Just love both of those movies, especially the Purge Anarchy is still my favorite Purge movie. And it's just like the first Purge and the Forever Purge do dive more into the lore of the Purge, but just even though James DeMonaco stayed on to help with writing, I still think he wrote the story or maybe I think he still wrote the story. It's just him not directing them. Like something's missing. Sorry to go off on a tangent about the Purge, but just I've been thinking about that recently.
I feel you. I mean, from what I've watched, like you can definitely tell there's a vibe shift.
Yeah.
So that's where it's sitting. I don't completely disagree. The only one is like Power Rangers definitely needs to be up a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But like I said, that's one that we had other people's input.
Yeah. So that could be one that we revisit in the future and actually give it the grade it deserves. But yeah, anyway, you said you have nothing else to add to Red One, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I said about all I can.
Fair. All right. Well, if you like this episode and you want to listen to more of us, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are damn near everywhere, unless that service has been discontinued. They've been canceled. But
there's a few that have been.
Yeah. But you can find us on iTunes. Wow. Apple Podcasts, not iTunes. I'm sorry. Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those. If you want to check out our social media, you can do so. We are at the All Bros on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you want to check out our website, you can find it at the All Bros No. That I was about to say our email. I'm sorry. Our website is tinyurl.com/the All Bros. Is it the All Bros or All Bros channel? I always forget.
Our email?
No, our website.
Oh, our website, tinyurl /the All Bros.
Okay, thank you. If you want to email us, it's the All Bros. It's at the All Bros channel at gmail.com.
There we go.
Yeah, got it. If you want to check out our merch store where you can pick up some cool ass designs that Caleb makes every single week, blown away every single week by what he's able to create. You can do so at tpublic.com/user/the All Bros channel. Next week or the following week, just depends on how our Christmas schedules align. So next week's episode, we haven't decided what we're going to do. We're going to do Sonic the Hedgehog 3, of course. But just it might come out either the week after Christmas or the Monday after Christmas or the Monday after New Year's. We'll see.
Yeah. So there maybe is a skipped week.
Yeah.
Like this. So this one's coming out the 23rd. So this is like right before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
And Happy New Year if we just happen to push it, our Sonic the Hedgehog. So Sonic the Hedgehog is either going to be the next episode or it's going to be the first episode of the year.
Yes.
So one of the two.
Yeah.
It is very up in the air because our adult lives are chaos.
So, yeah, if it does get pushed to the new year, like seriously, happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks for another year of listening to us. It's been another great year doing this podcast with Caleb, and can't wait to do it all over again in 2025.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's this episode. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
and we will see you guys next time. See ya.
Deuces.